Our goal is to identify a few pairs of angles. These pairs are created when two lines are sliced by a transversal. In other words, these two gray lines are being sliced through by this yellow line. This leads us to first explaining the corresponding angles. Notice when that yellow line slices through the gray ones, there's a couple of X's that are created. Now, if you imagine picking that X up and setting it on top of the other X, the corresponding angles are the angles that match up. So in other words, picture that 1, it would land on top of the 5. So 1 and 5 are corresponding. Or the 2 would land on top of the 6. So 2 and 6 are corresponding. The 3 would land on top of the 7. So 3 and 7 are corresponding. And then finally, angle 4 would land on top of 8. So 4 and 8 are corresponding. Next, let's find alternate exterior angles. Let's begin with the definition of an exterior angle. So exterior angles are those angles on the outside of those gray lines. So angle 1, 2, 7, and 8 are on the outside of the gray lines. So those are exterior angles. So those are the only ones that we could use for alternate exterior. Now, alternate means that you're alternating, you're jumping back and forth across the yellow line. So if you're angle 1 and I jump across the yellow line to another exterior angle, that's going to match up with 8. Or angle 2, jumping across that yellow line, we're going to go over there to 7. So our alternate exterior angles are 2 and 7. Looking for alternate interior angles, let's start off by defining what it is to be an interior angle. Interior angles are those angles on the inside of the gray lines, in between the gray lines. So 3, 4, 5, and 6 are on the inside. So to be an alternate interior angle, you have to start off by being on the inside. Now, if we're going to alternate, it means we're jumping across that yellow line. So if we start with angle 3 and we jump across the yellow line, we're going to go over there to 6. So 3 and 6 are alternate interior angles. If we go to angle 4, which is on the inside, and jump across to the other angle on the inside, 4 and 5 are alternate interior angles. I'm going to go ahead and summarize this vocabulary again. So starting off with alternate. If you are alternating, it means that you're jumping across that yellow line. Any angles that are alternates, one angle is on one side of the yellow line and the other angle is on the other side of the yellow line. Like 1 and 8 are on opposite sides of that yellow line. Exterior angles are angles that are on the outside of those gray lines. So angles 1, 2, 7, and 8 are all exterior angles. Interior angles are angles on the inside. So those are the angles that are in between the gray lines. So angles 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all interior angles. Corresponding angles are the angles that end up matching up when you take the X's that are formed by those gray lines that were sliced by that yellow line. So there we have the X. If I was to lift that up and set it down on top of the other X, the 1 and 5 match up, the 2 and 6, the 3 and 7, and the 4 and 8. So those are corresponding angles.